I think it's a great initiative, particularly the aspect that they've looked into a very topical subject to look at the future Navy of India and also into the aspect of realizing the Make in India initiative. As I had mentioned, that the blueprint of the future Indian Navy is firmly anchored on self-reliance and indigenization. And this can only be achieved by the Make in India initiative, the partnership with the industry. As you know, the Indian Navy has done very well, and currently all our 40 ships and submarines under construction are being built in Indian shipyards, both public and private. And I think this initiative by FICCI will go a long way in integrating the public and private industry in shipbuilding and making the future Indian Navy. Well, as I had mentioned last year, when we had a similar seminar when I was the Chief of Naval Staff, and I mentioned in the valedictory session today, is that it's very important that all the suggestions and recommendations which has emerged in various discussions during the forum and the seminar should be documented as an action-based plan. And we need to then put down as to what needs to be done, who is to do it, and by when. And then this plan needs to be monitored and actually reviewed in our conference or seminar next year. Only then we'll be able to make sure that whatever we discussed, whatever we recommend, whatever we suggest actually gets implemented. Well, this is an important aspect because, as you said, all the stakeholders are present here. The Indian Navy is present, the industry is present, the policy makers are present. So whatever gets discussed here actually helps the Indian Navy to make sure that the growth is in accordance with the plan, that the industry participates and contributes towards the Make in India initiative, because as we have said, it has to be participation from both the public and the private sector industry. Our ships are being built in private as well as public shipyards. So when both the stakeholders take into account the suggestion and the recommendation, then only the aim of this seminar will be achieved. Well, the aspect related to the technology seminar is that we need to make sure that we are looking at cutting edge of technology. When you look at cutting edge of technology, you have to have a perspective of at least 15 to 20 years, because the planners and the people who are in the technology business actually need to project themselves 15 to 20 years into the future. They need to visualize what the environment will be, what will be the threats and challenges, what will be the technologies that will be available at that point in time, and then they need to work backwards to see how these can be inducted into platforms in terms of ships, submarines and aircraft of the Indian Navy. And in this regard, the Indian Navy had taken an initiative, and we have a science and technology roadmap for the next 15 years, which has been built in or promulgated in consultation with the DRDO. Now, the DRDO will have to develop these technologies in time, and the industry will have to partner to see that these get manufactured in terms of cutting edge weapon and sensors, so that the Indian Navy of the future can be a multi-dimensional network-centric Navy which can take on the challenges of the future.